Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Haribo. Okay, devotees, thank you for coming. Let's begin on page 1 of the introduction. We'll do the Mangalacharana. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Srimad Bhagavad-gita as it is, chapter 11, text 35, I think. 35. Page 546 in the temple room. Sanjaya uvacha etachut Kritanjalir vipaman
Etashutva vachanam keshavasya
Kritanjalir vipamana kiriti Namaskritva bhuya Krishnam sagargadam
Vita vita pranamya.
Text 36. Arjuna uvacha Ane Rishikesha tava prakritya Jagat parishyati anurajyate cha Rakshamsi bhitani disho javanti Sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. Sorry, I skipped the translation of the first one. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled fearfully, offered obeisances with folded hands, and began faltering to speak as follows. Text 36, translation, O Hrishikesha, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Text 37, we can do this together. Kasmachatena namaran mahatman Garishyase brahmanopyari karte Ananta devesha jaganivasa Tvam aksharam sarasatat param yat. Translation. O Great One, who stands above even Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer you their homage up to you? O Limitless One, O Refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Text 36. Tvam Adideva Purusha Puranas Tvam Asya Vishvasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhamma Tvaya Tatat Vishwamananta Rupa. You are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You know everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Text 39. Vayuryamognir varuna shashanka Prajapatisthvam prapitamahascha Namo namaste stu sahasra kritva Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. You are air, fire, water, and you are the moon. You are the supreme controller and the grandfather. Thus I offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again and yet again. Text 40. Nama purustarata prishtataste namostute sarvata eva sarva ananta viryamita vikramastam sarvam samapnoti tatosi sarva. Obeisances from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everywhere. Everything. Text 41 to 42. Saketi matva prasabam yaruktam he Krishna he Yadava he Saketi ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat panayena vapi yaschavaha sartamasatkritosi viharashayasana bhojaneshu ekotavapyachuta tatsamaksham takshamaye tvamaham aprameyam. I have in the past addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, without knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. Text 43. Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujasya guru gariyan nutvat samosya vyadika kutonyo lokatrayepya paritima prabhava. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation, the worshipable chief, the spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. Within the three worlds, you are immeasurable. Tasmad panamya panithaya kayam prasadaye tvamaham ishamidhyam piteva putrasya sakeva sakyu priya priyayarhasideva shodhu. You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to you, my respects, and ask your mercy. Please tolerate the wrongs that I may have done to you, and bear with me as a father with his son, or a friend with his friend, or a lover with his beloved. Text 45. Adrishtya purvam rishitosmi drishtva vayena cha pravyatitam manome tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jaganivasa. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Okay, last one. Kiritinam garinam chakrahastam ichami tvam drashtumaham tataiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishramurte. O universal Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Okay, back to 35. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled, fearfully, offered obeisances with folded hands, and began, falteringly, to speak as follows. Purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As we have already explained, because of the situation created by the universal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna became bewildered in wonder. Thus he began to offer his respectful obeisances to Krishna again and again. And with faltering voice, he began to pray, not as a friend, but as a devotee in wonder. Yesterday we were hearing how Krishna was trying to encourage Arjuna to perform his prescribed duty as a Kshatriya and fight by showing him that actually all of these warriors that are assembled on the battlefield are already being destroyed by Krishna. Krishna is actually doing all of it. It's his will, basically. There's a nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ekale Ishwara Krishna Ada Sabha Britya. And there's another part to it. Does any devotee know? Magadari Prabhu. Well, the translation is that Krishna is the only master, the one Ekale Ishwara Krishna, one controller, and the rest are his servants. And he makes them dance, basically. So Krishna is the one that makes everything move. He's in the beginning of the cosmic manifestation, his glance as Mahavishnu, it stirs it gets it moving. Similarly, when we're out on Harinam or Sankirtan, we may be thinking that we're making these souls dance by our good kirtan, but actually it's his will. He's doing all of it. He's making them dance. Or when we're out on book distribution, we're thinking that I've got to get this guy's money. But actually, all we do is just give him darshan of the Lord in the form of the Bhagavad-gita, in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Put it in his hands, and Krishna does the rest. Krishna is actually doing all these things. We're not actually doing them. Okay, text 36. O Rishikesha, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Purport. Arjuna, after hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle of Kurukshetra, became an enlightened devotee of the Supreme Lord. He admitted that everything done by Krishna is quite fit. Arjuna confirmed that Krishna is the maintainer and the object of worship for the devotees and the destroyer of the undesirables. His actions are equally good for all. Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded in outer space, there were present many demigods, siddhas, and the intelligentsia of the higher planets. And they were observing the fight because Krishna was present there. When Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it. But others who were demons and atheists could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. Krishna's treatment of the devotees and the atheists is praised by Arjuna. In all cases, a devotee glorifies the Lord because he knows that whatever he does is good for all. Krishna is so expert at making the living entities dance that when he plays his flute, the birds, the beasts, the insects, they're all stunned in ecstasy. And he even melts rocks too. You're hearing about that. I was reading in Garga Samhita, and this has to do with the supreme will of the Lord. I was also hearing in a lecture, let me talk about this first. In a lecture I was hearing earlier, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he was talking about the will of the Lord and how it's the strongest force. There's no force that's actually stronger than the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord actually overrides everything. It's Icha Shakti. And then I remember hearing a story in Garga Samhita, reading something in Garga Samhita, basically. One time, the brothers Krishna and Balaram, and they were discussing, who their sister Subhadra should be married to. And naturally, Krishna is submissive to Balaram because Balaram's his older brother. And so, Balaram's proposing Subhadra should be married to Duryodhana. Actually, Duryodhana was Balaram's disciple in martial arts. And so Balaram had a little bit of affinity for Duryodhana, and he thought he would be a good fit to marry Subhadra. But Krishna remained silent in hearing that. But we can tell by the outcome, Subhadra actually married Arjuna, that despite Balaram being, Krishna's elder brother and having the authority in that relationship, that still Krishna, he always gets his way, So his will overrode that of Balaram's. So that was a nice connection I made there, or that was made there. Okay. Let's go on. O Great One, who stands above even Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer their homage up to you, O Limitless One, O Refuge of the universe? You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. By this offering of obeisances, Arjuna indicates that Krishna is worshipable by everyone. He is all-pervading, and he is the soul of every soul. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Mahatma, which means that he is the most magnanimous and unlimited. Ananta indicates that there is nothing which is not covered by the influence and energy of the Supreme Lord. And Devesha means that he is the controller of all the demigods and is above them. He is the center of the whole universe. Arjuna also thought that it was fitting that all the perfect living entities and all powerful demigods offer their respectful obeisances unto him, because no one is greater than him. He especially mentions that Krishna is greater than Brahma, because Brahma is created by him. Brahma is born out of the lotus stem growing from the navel abdomen of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who is Shiva's plenary expansion. Therefore, Brahma and Lord Shiva, who is born of Brahma and all the other demigods, must offer their respectful obeisances. Thus the Lord is respected by Lord Shiva and Brahma, and similarly other demigods. The word Aksharam is very significant because this material creation is subject to destruction, but the Lord is above this material creation. He is the cause of all causes, and being so, he is superior to all the conditioned souls within this material nature, as well as the material cosmic manifestation itself. He is therefore the all-great supreme. Eko bahunam yo vididhati kamam. Krishna is actually supplying to all of the living entities. Arjuna is saying here, Prabhupada is saying here in the purport, that Arjuna is actually seeing Krishna as the center of the universe. Krishna is the root of the universe. He's supplying all the necessities to the living entities through various mediums like the demigods, who are in control of the various phenomena of the material cosmic manifestation. But actually, Ekala Ishwar Krishna. Krishna is the one master. And the demigods are just performing their service, their sacrifice to Vishnu by engaging in their prescribed duties. Because they've acquired those occupations, just like we all have some prescribed duty. We've acquired it according to our guna and our karma, our past activities. And even at the beginning of this material creation, at the dawn of creation, when the shell of the universe was just filled with the waters of the Garbhodak ocean, and Garbhodakashayi Vishnu was resting there. And out from his lotus navel springs up Brahma, who's actually the first progenitor in the material creation. He begets all of the the progenitors. That Brahma awoke to an empty space, And within his heart, he received that transmission from the Lord, telling him to engage in his prescribed duties, to form, construct the universe, the different planetary systems, and populate it with various demigods, progenitors. And so Brahma did that, meditating on the Supreme Lord. He carried about his duties. And that's the same knowledge that Krishna is trying to transmit to Arjuna throughout the Bhagavad-gita. It's that supreme knowledge. To engage in our prescribed duties in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so text 38. You are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You know everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Purport. Everything is resting on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, He is the ultimate rest. Nidhanam. Means that everything, even the Brahman effulgence, rests on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the knower of everything that is happening in this world. And if knowledge has any end, He is the end of all knowledge. Therefore, He is the known and the knowable. He is the object of knowledge because He is all-pervading. Because He is the cause in the spiritual world, He is transcendental. He is also the chief personality in the transcendental world. Arjuna is glorifying Krishna as Ananta because he's seeing in this universal form unlimited features. Krishna as Bhagavan, he's got unlimited Aishwarya, wealth, Vida, strength, Shri, beauty, Jnana, knowledge, fame, and Vaidagya, renunciation. And he's got unlimited beauty, so it seems like he's got a form for every shade of beauty. So Arjuna is seeing all of these different forms, and he's addressing Krishna as Ananta Rupa. But actually, the Virat Rupa, which is being displayed, the universal form, is actually material. But even above that, Krishna is still the possessor of, he's the source of the Brahma Jyoti, which is the impersonal substance that, substantiates reality. So he's the source of both of these. And the Virat Rupa actually is just comprised of the 8 material elements, 5 of which, earth, water, fire, air, ether, are gross, and 3 of which are subtle. Similarly, these bodies that we have, they're also constructed of the same category of elements, although, to a lesser degree. And the super soul pervades the cosmic manifestation, just like our individual soul pervades our individual body. The super soul, he pervades all of the bodies. So that's the difference, is that he's very, very big and we're very, very small. And the lower planetary systems are his feet, like Patala Loka. And rising up to Brahma Loka, the highest planet in the material world, that's his head. And this is the abode of so many unlimited living entities who've got a variety of different bodies that they're engaging in their activities in. And they're all situated in this temporary form. And this form is so it's beyond anything that we can comprehend, but still, compared to his feature as Bhagavan in the spiritual world, it's nothing. So text 39. You are fire, water. You are air, fire, water, and you are the moon. You are the supreme controller and the grandfather. Thus I offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again and yet again. The Lord is addressed here as air, because the air is the most important representation of all the demigods, being all-pervasive. Arjuna also addresses Krishna as the grandfather because he is the father of Brahma, the first living creature in the universe. Text 40. Obeisances from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything. Purport. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend Arjuna is offering his respects from all sides. He is accepting that he is the master of all potencies and all prowess, and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on this battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana, Yo yam tavagato deva samipam devata gana satvam eva jagat shrashta yata sarvagato bhavan. Whoever comes before you, be he a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. I have in the past addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Without knowing your glories, please forgive what I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. Purport. Although Krishna is manifested before Arjuna in his universal form, Arjuna remembers his friendly relationship with Krishna and is therefore asking pardon and requesting him to excuse him for the many informal gestures which arise out of friendship. He is admitting that formerly he did not know that Krishna could assume such a universal form, although he explained it as his intimate friend. Arjuna did not know how many times he may have dishonored him by addressing him as, "Oh, my friend, O Krishna, O Yadava," etc., without acknowledging his opulence. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that in spite of such opulence, he played with Arjuna as a friend. Such is the transcendental loving reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. The relationship between the living entity and Krishna is fixed eternally. It cannot be forgotten, as we can see from the behavior of Arjuna. Although Arjuna has seen the opulence in the universal form, he could not forget his friendly relationship with Krishna. The Lord is also supremely merciful. And that mercy is especially seen when he comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give all of the living entities this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is the sublime method for meditating on the form of the Lord in this age. And by this process, we can actually cleanse the dust from our hearts, and we can factually realize our relationship with the Lord. And we can have a similar relationship in one of 5 different rasas: Shantaras, Tasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras. And he's distributing it freely without any consideration. So this is how merciful he is. This same Lord who's showing his feature as the universal form has got unlimited, scary, ghastly forms, that are all doing these big things in the material world, different functions, demigods, all these great, this opulence. He comes in the age of Kali as a sannyasi, and he's giving the treasure of the Vedic knowledge freely to so many, people like me, rascals, all these. So he's very merciful. And Arjuna is reflecting on this mercy here. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation, the worshipable chief, the spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. Within the three worlds, you are immeasurable. The Lord Krishna is worshipable as a father is worshipable for his son. He is the spiritual master because he originally gave the Vedic instructions to Brahma. And presently he is also instructing Bhagavad-gita to Arjuna. Therefore, he is the original spiritual master, and any bona fide spiritual master at the present moment must be a descendant in the line of disciplic succession stemming from Krishna. Without being a representative of Krishna, one cannot become a teacher or spiritual master of transcendental subject matter. The Lord is being paid obeisances in all respects. He is all of immeasurable greatness. He is of immeasurable greatness. No one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, because no one is equal to or higher than Krishna within any manifestation, spiritual or material. Everyone is below him. No one can excel him. Yeah, this chapter is pretty scary. We see the universal form, and we may not have any conception of Krishna and his transcendental feature, but we do have a conception of how scary the material world is. We can see that. We look at the sun is very, very powerful. I mean, even people we've met in our lives who are very, very powerful are able to completely just kill us, in like a second. So there's so many scary things in the material world. And the universal form is like Arjuna seeing unlimited, seeing Krishna and all of these ghastly forms swallow, the soldiers assemble on the battlefield whole, seeing him, his time, right? Death, the destroyer of worlds. So seeing God in this form it's not very, what's it called? Palatable. It's not very palatable, and it's scary. Anyways, I guess we'll leave it there. If anyone has questions. Okay. Well, I don't know who was first. Okay, Radhastali Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry, I don't have a question. I have a reflection, if that's okay.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, a couple times you said that Krishna is so merciful, he can make us dance or make others dance, by his holy name. And it's not our doing, it's his doing. That's one reflection. And another one is how, like here in text 35, Arjuna, I like how it's described how Arjuna trembled fearfully, offered obeisances with folded hands, and began falteringly to speak. And after that, he's glorifying the Lord and offering his prayers. I think that is so amazing because, they're friends, and yet he's realizing how great Krishna is. It's like, oh my goodness, this is the supreme I'm talking to. And he's, seeing his universal form. And it just reminds me of when I was a child, I grew up going to Catholic churches, and I was taught how to pray. And so I'd always pray like God is my friend. Oh, like, thank you for everything. And please take care of this person and that person. And please help me get that toy. And, whatever, all these weird things. Like he was my order supplier or my father or even my friend. Like, hey, I think you did that. Thank you. Anyways, but here Arjuna is showing us how to really glorify Krishna, how to really glorify him. Oh, you're, sorry, you're the father of this complete cosmic manifestation, just all these little details. And then in this way, we can really pray to the greatness of Krishna. But Lord Chaitanya makes it so simple that we just glorify his names, and that's enough. But it's nice that, we're hearing this conversation, and this allows us to go deeper if we want to say, oh, Krishna, yeah, Arjuna is telling us who you are. Sorry, that was a lot. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. Appreciating Krishna for who he is and not for what he has, or not because we're envious of what he has, like going over to a friend's house and ignoring him and like playing with his console or something for hours, going through his refrigerator, But actually, Arjuna is attached to Krishna as a friend. Arjuna is attached to Krishna as a friend, and so when he sees Krishna in these forms where it's impersonal, he's very disturbed. But he handles it like a devotee. What does he do? He glorifies the Lord. I'm terrified, but anyways, Bhakta Fred, thank you for that, Mataji. That was very nice.
Hare Krishna. I'll try and be quick. I just want to first please accept my humble obeisances. Thanks for the nice class. I would like to say that it seems that really the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee is that they see everything in relation to Krishna. Since everything is Krishna's, if you look at this, this stool is my stool for my usage. That's not how a devotee thinks. This stool is a stool used for the Bhagavad-gita because this is the stool that we use in order to keep the Bhagavad-gita off the ground. So I just wanted to point that out. And then I think that what you said earlier is actually very important about the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And I found the verse, but first I'll do a verse before it. Sri Chaitanya, or Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 20.317. The conclusion is that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are simply devotee incarnations who carry out orders. However, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer, is the personal feature of Lord Krishna. And it says, purport, therefore all demigods, including Shiva, Brahma, and everyone, they are only order-carrying servants. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Britya. And then the next thing is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 5.142. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller, and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them do so, like you said. And the purport is, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will find one passage that, quote, only master is Krishna, and everyone, never mind what he is servant, end quote. Everyone is servant. And what to speak of us? We are servants, servants, servants. Therefore, anyone who understands this philosophy that, quote, I am servant, servants, servants, 100 times, million times lower servant, end quote, he is a liberated person. And one who thinks that I am God, he is dog. He is dog. And one who thinks, quote, I am servant, God's servant, 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 million times, servant, servant, he is liberated. He is liberated. This is the process. And then, never mind, it's gone. So that's what I wanted to share. I think it's really important that you brought that up because the more I listen to Srila Prabhupada or devotees, everyone's saying, we're not repetitive for repetitive sake. We're not practicing for practice sake. We're practicing so that we can actually understand, or maybe not even understand, but come to the realization that we can't get Krishna without serving his servants. And he's making us dance, but we have to pray and beg, and we're not just doing dandavats for dandavat's sake either. None of this is just for the sake of doing it. Like, we're cultivating a service mentality, and the depth is infinite because Krishna is infinite. So the more we, think we know, the less that we're going to actually want to strive to assist each other. And if Krishna is making us dance, then, we can have fear, but, we should take shelter. We should take shelter. And if we can't take shelter of the idea of Krishna, we take shelter of the temple and the devotees, because we can see them. The issue with people out, the indirect devotees, is that they have no idea how to take shelter. They have no idea. So that's what I feel we're giving the books for. Here's shelter, right here. Might take you some time to realize that, but here it is. It's not here is how you get back to Godhead, even though this is. It's how do you take shelter of the only thing that you can take shelter of. There's nothing else you can take shelter of. It's only Krishna. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You're right. All the other relationships we can have are temporary. It's like trying to build your house out of sand. What do you expect? But the Lord is eternal, and that relationship is eternal. So best to take shelter in that. And you're right, a devotee is one who sees everything in relation to Krishna, because everything actually belongs to Krishna. But a devotee also not just sees everything in relation to God, but he engages all of those things in direct service. So he uses all of his senses, his mind, and he uses it in direct service. Like that's an actual expression of love. We hear about that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's what love is using everything to directly serve Krishna, directly glorify Krishna. Not just recognize, there's a truth or whatever, and let me just continue doing nonsense and philosophically justify why I can do nonsense, because the truth is impersonal, he doesn't care. Or I actually, because I'm smoking cigarettes, and cigarettes are, they are the energy of the Lord, that I'm also, by enjoying those cigarettes, I'm enjoying, or whatever. I've heard this from Christians and all kinds of people. But no, that's not true. Anyways, thank you for that comment, Prabhu. It was very nice. Jai, okay. Okay, devotees. Thank you for tolerating me. Srimad Bhagavad-gita as it is, ki jai.